Hey, oh, I hear him.
Hey, okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, and I see you too.
Okay, sick.
What's up?
What's up? Do you like this angle or do you want me to like record
Whatever you want, dude.
whatever's easier for you guys? I mean, I don't mind this angle, but
Yeah, that
okay.
works for you.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, I'm just like recording the whole meeting, and then I'll probably just like cut it up later. But
Okay,
um,
sounds good.
I've never recorded a Zoom meeting before. I tested it, and it worked, so I'm hoping that it works. But um, but yeah,
Cool.
it was cool to finally meet you after like actually like talking with you for a while.
Yeah. I mean, like we've met briefly in what do you call it? School, but
Wait,
yeah, because I had an August Burns Red shirt on, and you're like, "Oh my God, August Burns Red." I was like, "Oh, yo,
wait, where?
Wheaton? No?
Are you talking about Wheaton College?
Yeah.
So I didn't go there, but that's how I knew who you were. Because
Oh,
so
okay.
now I'm curious, who do you think I am?
I always assumed you were that guy who complimented my August Burns Red shirt.
So there's some other guy.
That's
Oh,
sick.
That's so funny. I guess. Oh, I guess we should do a quick intro. I've never hosted anything before, so this is Nathan Kwon. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Cool. Artist and visual mastermind behind the album artwork, and also our cool logo, which we have printed on our new long sleeves, which are sick. Then we have Connor in here.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm from Wheaton originally.
Okay.
And Connor's from Carroll Stream, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we went to Wheaton Academy, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, right down the road from me. And I honestly don't remember how I found out who you were, but it was just online through like friends I had that went to school there, I think.
Gotcha.
I think, do you know like Nathaniel Holman?
I love Nathaniel Holman.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because we both went to the same like homeschool co-op growing up.
Makes sense.
And we were like a grade or two apart. But I know him. Do you know like Michael Joyner? Do you know who that is? His dad, Lee Joyner, was like a violin teacher there.
No, I like rarely step foot in the conservatory. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but you're not from there, right? You're from Maryland?
I'm from Maryland. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Connor, what you got there behind you? It's kind of interesting. What is that thing?
It kind of sucks ass.
I know for a second I was like, I feel like I keep getting poked in the back of the head. But yeah, we got our boy back here, chilling. We have the artwork to "Oh How Carefully We Collapse" debut album, Bitter Breath.
It's true.
Done by Nathan over here in I think about 2 to 3 days, if that's right.
It was fast.
It was fast, but I don't know if it was 2 to 3 days. I think maybe like a week, like to come up with like the drafts and then like kind of sculpt it towards the end product. But yeah,
insane. And it's so cool because I feel like people are maybe that are more on the fence that aren't like familiar with us are checking it out solely based on the artwork, which is so sick.
That's so nice. Oh my God.
Yeah, like I think we have like some ads running or whatever, and like anyone who comments is just like a stranger. And I've seen a few that are just like, oh, nailed it with their artwork. It's so sick. So yeah, we were like blown away because like I had seen some of the other stuff you've done, and like I knew that you were in that like Bixinski like realm kind of thing, and I was like, I was just getting into that, so I was like, I think I've seen like Humanity's Last Breath and a bunch of other bands get stuff done by that other Polish dude,
Lewandowski. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad that he died. Like Devastating day. Oh my god.
Got one of his prints over here. It's so sick.
Oh shit, which one?
I can move my whole ass computer. Oh no, I said. Oh. All right, this isn't gonna work. I'll send it to you. It's I forget what it's called. It's just like a bunch of people standing, looking at like the edge of a. It looks like the inside of a cube that they're in with some water or something.
Oh, is it the Valde artwork for Humanity's Last Breath, or is it a different one?
No, it's just like one of his pieces.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I got off his website, but that one's sick too.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start with it? You're the artist, so.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys want to talk about like the concept you had in terms of like what you put into Midjourney and like
Sure.
the idea behind the album title too?
Maybe I can lead in with that since I guess that came from our end.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Midjourney, anyone doesn't know, is that AI art thing. You just literally tell it what to make in literally any style, and then you just keep on like basically hitting refresh, and it'll give you different iterations. And I thought that was super cool. And Connor, I honestly can't. It feels like forever ago when we were talking about like the concept for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't exactly remember how we came up with what we did. I'm looking at it right now. It's like the shadowy figures that are. I know what I put in was like obviously like Stylus, Beksinski. I think just like shadowy figures that are worshiping while also drowning. And I don't remember how we came up with that, but
I think like it's centered around the sumo all disappear kind of at first, and then like the oh how carefully we collapsed the album name. It's funny because I kind of want to hear Nathan's interpretation as well, because the way I kind of see it is the figure just kind of being like in itself like an idol, and all of the people falling, and it kind of just resembling the collapse of society due to whatever, like it may be like greed, money, power, whatever like your vice or your idol is. All of those people that are falling are trying to attain that, and they're trying to get through that gate or that passage, but they're all falling short because they can't seem to give up like the careful collapse. Like no matter how hard we try, there's always seems to be something that we just can't get rid of, or we get rid of that one thing and replace it with something different. That's kind of how I see it a little bit.
Well, that's great. I mean, like, okay, I think the great thing about art is like what I necessarily like think about and like put into the piece isn't necessarily what other people are going to get out of it, and like that's totally fine. And like that's like the beauty of art, you know, like it's different interpretations. Like going back to Basinski, I think it's also really interesting he never titled any of his pieces, so you don't like know what it means, so you have to like come up with it yourself. And I think the best art generally forces you to come up with your it forces you to like put together the pieces yourself, which is why I think abstract art or like abstract art is really great. And I think it's often like slept on and like it's kind of like shit on because it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of dots, but like you kind of really have to think, oh, okay, I mean sometimes it is just like a bunch of dots and you're like, what the fuck is this? But but you have to like you have to think about it and go like, how does this make me feel, and why does it make me feel this way, and what's giving me that impression? But in terms of like the artwork, like I think I really wanted to sort of capture the idea behind the Midjourney piece. And so like that sort of thing about cult, like people who are worshiping but also drowning, there's sort of like a like you think you're doing the right thing, or like it looks like they're doing the right thing, but they're actually like not doing great. Well, that's an understatement. They're actually dying. they're not doing great. And so I think, so I mean, I think I came up with like 4 drafts. I think one was like almost like a huge coffin that was like chained to like the ground and like people were floating.
Mm-hmm.
there's like a couple others, but the one with like the weird monster figure and like the 5 people like sort of hovering / drowning was the one we went with. And so initially the head, I think, was like this weird alien-esque type thing, which I like didn't know how to feel about, but then I honestly got stuck at one point, and so I ended up like looking at a lot of Lewandowski and Basinski stuff, and I remember seeing like this piece of Basinski that like was this like haggard sort of like crown. I was like, oh, like that's kind of like the vibe I want to
That was
capture.
Is it like kind of a close up and it's just got like the huge thing?
Yeah. And so I was like, that's the vibe I want. And so then I sort of like started sculpting it to be like that. I wanted the figure to kind of look like menacing, but like regal, like an idol, like Connor said. So like obviously you have the crown, but if you zoom into like the mirror, so I was like sort of deciding on what the little gate thing should be. I thought of like a black mirror, where like witches would like look into for like scrying and like doing like funky shit and stuff like that. But I think I put in the reflection and I didn't like how overt it was. So I ended up making it blank. So it's like, and I think if you zoom in, you can see like little bubbles like floating out. So I think it's nice to have that like ambiguity and kind of like also see what people think. And then I also wanted it to be kind of like unclear what the like cultists or like the worshippers were doing. Like it kind of looks like they're floating, right? And kind of looks like maybe they're kind of in ecstasy, but like if you look at the top, you kind of see like, oh, there's like water above, like there's like a surface thing. So they're actually drowning. They're not like floating. They're not like being possessed or like imbued with something. They're actually drowning.
And that was so genius. Like, or I'm not an artist, but like the top of it, how you just like see the top of the water, and obviously the bubbles add to it too. But like you just, as soon as you see the top, you're just like, oh, this is like underwater. That's so sick.
Yeah, like I actually got that idea from like Ellerin Cantor. So he does art for bands like okay,
Murder, right?
But yeah, Diarist Murder. Okay, this band, like, fuck them because they're transphobic, but Venom Prison. The art he did for Venom Prison, though, amazing, like so expressive. But there was like he does like it was Psy, an artwork he did for Psy, where it's not Psy the Gangnam Style guy, but Psy the.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, I would love to see an Eller and Cantor like Psy collab, you know, Gangnam Style, but
I don't think I've heard of the band.
They're pretty underground. They're like this weird avant-garde Japanese black metal band that like also have been categorized as like pirate metal at some point. I don't listen to Psy too much, but he did like an artwork where it's very simple. It's like this woman that's like pouring water into a plant. She's smiling, but the more you look, it's like the more sinister it becomes because it's like a very happy image. But then you realize the plant that she's pouring water into is dead. She's not even looking at the plant. She's looking somewhere outside. And then there are like shadows like in the background that you can't really see unless you like really look. And so I wanted sort of like I love shit like that, where it's like you don't really get the full picture unless you like lose yourself in the artwork or like you really examine it. So I think part of sort of that sort of philosophy and like approach to like creating something that like people can really sort of like dig into, that's something I really wanted to do here, especially.
How did you come up with like the texture of like the face and the neck and stuff? Because that stuff is just crazy.
Oh, thank you. So honestly, so the face was like the hardest part. I like initially thought maybe doing like wrinkled flesh, but excuse me. Sometimes it's like, okay, I get artist block way more than I'd like to admit. But so when that happens, sometimes I'll like just mess around and like try different things, like drawing lines or like drawing like chicken scratch, and see if like that sort of like inspires something. And I ended up like doing like these weird sort of crisscross lines, and I was like, oh my god, like this is it, like these can be bones. And so that's honestly how it started. Yeah.
And then I'm just looking kind of down the figure. Not transforms, but like the arms are kind of this like ghostly substance of some kind.
Yeah. I kind of wanted the figure to look sort of relaxed and sort of like inquisitive, and like I guess inquisitive is the right word. Like it's not straining, or it's not actively trying to do something. It's just being there, and like its presence itself is like malevolent. It's not like trying to be malevolent, but in its being, it's just, yeah.
I think that's what makes it so much more like impactful, because it's like not like your typical like trying to be scary monster. It's like just existing right there. And I think that's what makes it so eerie.
Yeah.
It's so thick.
Thank you. Yeah. Like I take a lot of inspiration from like a lot of cosmic horror, so like Lovecraft as well. Like a lot of it is just like, well, I don't think this is Lovecraft specifically, but like the Yellow King. Like the Yellow King isn't like actively trying to fuck up the minds of like people who come into contact with him. They just like perceive him and they go crazy. You're confronted with something that you can't imagine or like conceive, and like that in of itself like totally messes you up.
I think that's what you sent us when you were like kind of thinking of ideas on where to take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. That sounds like me. Yeah.
Connor, I think you knew what that was, and I had no idea. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was familiar. I'm trying to think. It's from a book, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I Googled it and like some random stuff was coming up. I was like, there's no way this is what he's talking about.
I mean, there are a bunch of illustrations done about the Yellow King, but yeah, I mean, like by definition, like Lovecraftian or like cosmic horrific things are like indescribable. So it's like, I think images are always going to vary because, it's not describable. So
it's gonna like pull a few more like details that I think are really sick.
Oh yeah.
The gate with the face on top of it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, I like that bit too. It kind of like hints to the figure being malevolent. Like, well, I mean, the stereotypical like demonic devil face.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the top of the mirror gate or whatever is like kind of like part of the head.
Yeah.
That's cool. I guess I never thought about that. Then we got I think we were both really curious to see how you were going to implement the emblem, because it's very just like 2D. So, how did you come up with that? How it's like flames underwater or whatever? Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah, I think that just ripped a page off of the King in Yellow. Like he like draws some like indescribable or like incomprehensible sign, and like whoever sees it goes mad. Like there was a story that's no longer online, unfortunately, but I think I took reference. Well, I found out about the King in Yellow because of this story, but it's a band called Archibald, and they did this like EP or album about Carcosa and like the King in Yellow, the city and stuff like that. And I remember at the end, like the King in Yellow drew the sign, and like the narrator immediately like went crazy, and I was like, okay, like I want to do that with the emblem, because it's like a coffin, but it's not exactly a coffin. It just kind of like fit the vibe, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved like how the wisps are like kind of like going around it.
Mhm.
Cool touch. Connor, do you have any other favorite details?
Yeah, I was actually trying to find one of the other ideas that we had.
I'll put it in the Instagram chat, but this was one of the ideas we had, like one singular figure. But I think it was like, oh, this is like too much like what Lewandowski did for Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the floating coffin. And then like one singular figure with like 5 people like in worship ecstasy, which is like a huge, huge scene. And like I think Christian sainthood, like a lot of saints like often compared like experiencing God or like coming into his presence like almost orgasmic, which I think is really fascinating. And there's a lot to be said with that sort of like mixture of, I guess, repressed sexuality and like repressed sexuality and like a love for God, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, I think it was fun for us to kind of like, I guess we kind of gave you like a visual image, so I guess that's specific kind of already, but I feel like we left it kind of open-ended and just kind of wanted to see like what you ran with.
Yeah.
And I think the whole, like, I've had a couple people ask us like, what does it mean? Like, what's the meaning behind everything? And I think we're at a point now where we're just like really cool with things just like being open to interpretation. At least I am.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and it's also cool for even like me personally to like, the more I spend time with it, I like will attribute like different or like more meaning to it, which I think is cooler than literally just being like, this is what it means and like nothing else.
Right. It becomes sort of like a living like this living conglomerate or amalgamation of like people's interpretations, which makes it like really neat. Again, like what my thoughts on the piece might necessarily, like, they're just as valid as what someone else is like interpreting about the piece, like that I like don't know, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really glad. I was trying to find a picture of it, but I remember we had like, it was almost like a little like sliver down the side, and then we had the album name and then our emblem, and it was like a completely different color, kind of cutting off the picture.
Yeah.
And I think leaving that out and making the title and our name a lot smaller, just up how it is, I think was 100% the right move.
Honestly, yeah. Like I think I was like looking at a lot of what Dan Seagrave did for like the Devil Wears Prada, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to do that. But then, no, that was definitely the right call to like make it smaller and just kind of like it feels a lot more balanced that way. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and I love the like the cream color on top of that teal or whatever you're gonna call it.
Yeah. I think I stole that color from like either the gate or like part of the crown. But yeah.
Very sick. Well, anybody else? I feel like it's just like you could go into so many rabbit holes and like every little detail. I know one thing that I thought was interesting is you said you do your work kind of like you would a normal canvas. So it's all, is it just like all one layer essentially, like digitally?
Pretty much, yeah. So like I try to like, okay, I am scared of like messing up, so I'll like do one layer and then like work on top of it. And if I feel like I need to blend it, then I'll merge it down and then like work off of that. But if I want to add anything significant, I'll like do a new layer and then see if that works. And if it doesn't, I could just scrap the layer. But if it does, I just like merge it down and continue working that way.
Well, I don't think I have any other questions. At this point, I'm just pointing out stuff that's cool. I recommend everybody just like go look at it. I would like to put up like the full thing in some capacity somehow, rather than just the square.
Yeah.
So maybe a good way to do that.
I mean, you could always like make little like borders on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I guess I do have a question for y'all. What are the top 5 bands you're listening to right now?
Oh shoot.
Ooh.
Asking the real question.
All right. I have to pull up Spotify because otherwise I won't remember. That's funny. I was thinking about asking you that.
Hell yeah.
Do they need to be heavy?
No, they don't need to be heavy. They just need to be good.
Oh man.
Like top 5 favorite ones that we're into right now?
Like, yeah, like right now. Doesn't have to be like all time, just like right now.
Connor, you got them off the top?
Yes.
Okay.
I got the new Dying Wish.
Okay.
I got the latest 3 tracks from them. I got the new Noah Gunderson, latest 3 tracks from him. Then I got a new album called Everything Is Alive by a band called Slow Dive.
I've heard of them.
I love Slow Dive. I love shoegaze. Okay.
Hey, what else we got?
Was that 3?
3.
Got 2 more.
Lately, I've been jamming Animals by Pink Floyd. And then also the new Unity TX. That's been in the rotation too.
Is that a hardcore band?
Yeah, from Dallas.
Gotcha.
Kind of like hip hop and hardcore.
Okay.
All mixed together.
Okay. I did.
They're sick. I need to check that out.
I feel like hardcore, like rap mix, like Landmarks for sure.
Oh yeah.
Paleface, so good. Like
Dude,
they did use Midjourney in like one of their album artworks. And it's like, come on.
I forgot. I was going to ask you about like your thoughts on that as an artist.
Yeah. I think it could be like a really helpful tool if it didn't like steal a bunch of like, so like it bases its images off of like a bunch of things, including other artists' artwork. So like people can essentially get artwork from other people for like free, or like in the style of like an artist for free, which I think is kind of fucked up and unethical. And also I've heard that, I've read that it also takes like really personal information or like really personal images from sources like legal child pornography and medical records and like stuff like that. So I think, it's kind of fucked up. I mean, I think as a tool, like if it like had ethically sourced images, like by all means, amazing, go for it. But I think as of right now, in the way that it's like stealing art from artists and like other questionable, dubious sources, it's a no-go for me. Which is a shame because I love Midjourney, but just not as it is right now.
Yeah.
So you can go hire an artist like yourself to make the art for you.
Yes.
Higher
quality. Well, also I don't mind it as like a jumping off point, and also like I know like artists who, or like musicians who don't necessarily have the funds to like do an album cover have found like Midjourney like pretty useful. But I think aside from that, like when you can afford to like pay an artist, don't use Midjourney. Yeah.
I thought like I've talked to my wife Sarah about this a lot because she's very like anytime she starts to imagine anything, it's just visual, like she just sees it like in her brain, and like I have no visual imagination whatsoever. So I think using that to, like, I wouldn't have been able to come up with the idea that it gave us, like, we came up with like the words, like, and the ideas. So I guess that in itself was unique, but just getting those ideas across to you in a way that, like, when you came up with your version, like, and we saw it, was like, oh yeah, like that totally makes sense. Is like, was a easy way to get those ideas across, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Like Midjourney is an amazing, like, it's like a nice sort of tool to kind of help you generate ideas. Like, I'm all for that, for sure.
I kind of feel that way about like string VSTs getting really good as like a cellist, you know?
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, please hire me still.
Like, nothing beats a real cello, but also,
well, they're getting good.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. No, I like, I'm astounded by like Spitfire audio. Like, oh my god, like the amount of realism.
Yeah, they did the were they the ones that did the Abbey Road studio thing? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. There's actually another company that I'm like looking into, like Sonixima. Like they're supposed to have like some really good solo legato libraries, but
it sounds hard to nail.
So I'm curious to see if they'll like pull it off. I haven't like listened to extensive demos yet, but
yeah. This is like off topic, but I've tried it a little bit, like with like the solo line. I think I had like a demo from Spitfire, but I feel like in order to make it sound as realistic as possible, they include all these parameters that you have to know how to use in order to get it to sound that natural. So I feel like even though it still like sounds amazing, like it still takes like a musician with enough knowledge to know how to like put it to use. So I feel like even though it's like getting, the better it gets, like you'll still need, you know, the knowledge of a real musician. And like same with like an artist using like AI stuff, or it's not AI, but kind of similar.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. String VSTs are great, but like you said, they're like, if you don't know how string instruments work, they're gonna sound like fake either way. But also, it's like I actually grew up playing violin. I still play violin. Yeah, but also like, I don't have the equipment to like make it sound great in a recording setting. Sure. So I'm always like, should I like use a solo violin string library? Should I just record it myself, even though like it doesn't sound that great? It's always like this weird sort of tiptoe. Like I was thinking about trying to emulate cello by like dropping the violin down an octave, but not the same. Not the same.
I've done the opposite. I don't know, Connor, like as a lyricist, I don't know, can you imagine, what would your thoughts be on if people were doing like AI lyrics?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure people already do that to an extent. I wouldn't be surprised. Isn't there like a thing where people are taking like artists that have passed away and they're like making AI generated songs?
Yeah.
Is that
like, yeah, no, like, Elvis singing like Wet Ass Pussy is wild.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll get there. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, I think it's important to remember that AI it's not thinking for itself. It's drawing from like a bunch of other poems and other like lyricists and like other songwriters. So like it's always like a good sort of inspiration machine, but I think always like, no matter how much inspiration you draw from AI, you ultimately have to like take the task of art creating into your own hands and make it meaningful, you know? But
yeah.
Cool. Well, no one has anything else, I feel like we could probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wait. Okay,
Oh, wait.
okay. I know Connor.
Yeah.
Connor.
Oh yeah.
No, I was trying to get out of it. I didn't want to do it.
Give me your 5 now.
Okay. All right. So, New Humanity's Last Breath record,
Mm,
Ashen. Have you checked that one out?
Bro. So good. Dude, the way they use that like Dutch choir, like I forget which ethnicity, but like that choir in Still.
Is it the one with like the female vocals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video. I don't know if you saw it. I think Buster posted it. He like collaborated with a vocalist and like she tracked everything.
Oh, I thought he sampled it.
Yeah, it's real.
Damn.
If it's the part I think that you're thinking of, but yeah, that's sick. There's an artist called Maro. Have you heard of her? She's a
so cute.
She's a Portuguese artist who's just like, it's just like really simple stuff, but I think she plays like a steel string, but she has 2 nylon guitarists and it's recorded like hard panned.
Okay.
It's just like the most beautiful thing you'll ever hear.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, it's super sick. There's like a couple songs in 7. I think only 2 of the songs on that are in English. And I'm learning Portuguese because Sarah is from her family's from Brazil, so that like helps me kind of work on that. But
that's awesome. That's so cute. I love that.
New Invent Animate record, I guess.
I've heard really good things about that record. I haven't dug into it yet, but
I think the most underrated songs are the second and third to last. Personally, was that 3? We got
Silent Planet.
Oh, good old Slant Plant.
Well, it's just singles. I'm trying to do like a record.
Yeah.
But yeah, their new stuff is very good. Shout out to Mitch and Alex, and Garrett, who also live in Nashville.
I think they lived in LA for some reason.
They did, and then they all moved.
Gotcha.
But we've gotten to hang out with them a little bit, which has been really cool. They're super, super nice. Whose stomach was that?
This guy. That's Chipotle.
New vocal type. The gurgle.
I'm about to go pick up another burrito.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude.
We love that journey for you.
The newest Daughter record, do you know them?
Yeah. Okay. Daughters is good, but also the singer's a piece of shit.
Daughter singular.
Daughter singular. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Not the rock band.
I've heard of them, but I don't even know what they sound like.
Yeah, they're good, but also they're not worth listening to because sexual abuse type stuff.
Yeah, definitely not the case with this one.
Okay.
Yeah, the front, she's like, I think they're all from England, but her name's Elena Tonra, and she's just like a genius. It's very just like chill, sad stuff, which I am into.
When did that come out?
This year in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was not branding, but they had a really popular song called "Youth" back in like 2014. Is that 4?
Yeah,
that's 4. You got one more.
Bitter Breath.
Nah.
Who's Bitter Breath?
Band sucks, dude.
They sound like they suck. Yeah,
they suck.
Although I have been listening to it on Spotify. I think I'm gonna go Soul Keeper. They're from Minnesota, and their guitarist did our reamps. But have you ever heard of like Villains? They're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Villains. Oh my god, I'm so sad they broke up. But
wait, I got this.
Said code. Yeah, oh shit. Okay.
Chi-Town. They were like the first like underground show that I went to because we played it when it was them and was it Kingmaker?
Yeah.
And I forget who else. I think Victims played that. You probably know who they are, maybe.
Yeah.
Back when they had the vowels in their name. Yeah, 10 codes like all time. But yeah, Soulkeeper, they're kind of like them.
Okay.
But more modern sounding.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The stuff is mixed by Lance Prince, who does like Alpha Wolf and a bunch of those Australian bands.
Love Alpha Wolf. Okay, Mono has such a huge place in my heart. Oh my god.
Is that the gray one?
Yeah, it's the gray one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, they're insane live.
I've heard. Oh my god. Okay, Lockie? Is it Lockie? Lachlan?
Loki or Loki or something?
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, honestly, brings it to Alpha Wolf. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. That's my 5.
Okay.
Well, all right. You're not getting out of this. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Keaton Henson. I love his orchestral works. I mean, his indie stuff is good too, but I think he really shines with his Romantic Works album.
Dude, yeah. The one with the cello solo on it.
Oh, Halea dancing!
Yeah.
I could listen to that forever. Oh my god, so good.
So high, so hard to play.
I actually thought that was a viola. I didn't know that was a cello.
Oh, maybe it is. I might be wrong.
Oh, okay. Okay, recently Abigail Williams, like,
Ooh.
yeah, like I like love, so particularly the album The Accuser. Like, it's very different than like the newest one, which is also great. Like, Justin McKinney has like an amazing solo. But that's like the first album that got me into like raw black metal. Like, I'm very picky about raw black metal, but The Accuser is up there. Corner Club. So they're an indie duo out of San Francisco. They write the cutest shit. It's like, I love it. Also like top tier people. So nice. Novelists.
Oh, Novelist FR?
Yeah, Novelist FR. Like, I've been starting to get into their new stuff. I was like so sad when Mateo left, but honestly, new vocalist kicks ass too. Excuse me. It's okay. Keaton Henson.
I haven't listened to them since I think it was Heartfelt. Was that their song? Like they only had singles, I think, when I'd been into them.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, I've been listening to like mainly Noir and C'est La Vie and like bits of the newest one. I'm like slowly getting into that. Heartfelt's like in 2015. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was like last time I was
definitely listen to Noir. Like, okay. Mateo, amazing. Cool. Is that 3 or 4? Keaton, Corner Club, Novelists. Abigail Williams.
Yeah.
4.
Okay. Last one. I guess Ulcerate. Yeah, so they're like a dissonant death metal band from New Zealand. So like Stare Into Death and Be Still is like their newest one, but I've been like listening to one of their older ones. Like, all of their records are gold, but I've been trying to learn one of their songs off of an older album called The Destroyers of All. But great band, amazing. It sounds like the apocalypse, like Humanity's Last Breath does, but like Humanity's Last Breath just like slaps you in the face. Ulcerate just like steamrolls you, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Where do you say where they're from?
New Zealand
New Zealand. Okay, that's cool.
or Australia. One of the two. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, it's top 5.
Hell yeah.
I feel like we're on a podcast. I don't know. We're on like a podcast, but like nobody is really the host. I feel like we're like the host left the chat and we're just like trying to figure out.
I'm going to throw in 3 honorable mentions now that I looked at my Spotify.
Okay.
I'm going to do Hypochondriac by Breakins. A little bit of Hyperpop. I'm going to do Health by Medium Build. It's like a indie chill. And then I'm going to throw in a band called Speed. I think they're the best up and coming hardcore band right now.
Okay.
They're from Australia. Sickest band ever.
Okay. Speed.
Dude, they better be playing fast.
Oh, dude, so fast.
They're actually a doom metal band.
Yeah, that'd be insane. That'd actually be sick.
So fast, you'll freak. It's crazy.
Okay, well, that's not fair. I'm throwing in a couple. We got Weeping Wound.
Okay.
Ooh.
Which, if you haven't heard of them, they're probably the tightest live band I've seen recently, like, period.
Okay.
And they're, like, severely underrated. But all their stuff is in, like, drop F0. But it, like, isn't... Charlie, it's okay. It's not, like, down-tempo, though. It's, like... Connor, I don't know, how do you explain it? Their snare is really high, which I love.
I'd say it's like new metal.
Is it like Saint Anger snare, like Penny snare?
Maybe.
Kind of, but like better. It works.
Okay. Have you listened to Sleep Token?
Yeah.
So the same guy that mixed their latest thing, their latest record, mixes them. Okay. And it has like that Sleep Token drum sound.
Gotcha.
So it's like really raw, but like the rest of it is just like super, super heavy.
Okay.
It's just
really,
like
really good.
It's like Kwon. Kind of like Follow the Leader, but like heavier and like genty.
Yeah, super. Yeah,
interesting.
Lots of whammy stuff. But their drummer is just. I've seen them twice when they've come to town, and he's literally like the most insane drummer I've ever seen. And maybe I only have one. Yeah.
You gotta pick 2 more. You gotta pick 2 more.
Damn.
Come on.
Okay.
2 more.
And we got a minute and a half left. Oh no.
Oh fuck. Okay, go.
We'll go.
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice. There's a band called Chaos Sphere.
Okay.
From Chicago, which is the name of that Meshuggah record, but they're just really cool. And then I'm gonna shout out. There's a Brazilian band called Terno Hey that I've been jamming. They're cool. It's spelled TERNO space REI. They're cool. They're like indie. All right, you got a minute.
Oh shit. Okay. Acacia Strain. Failure Will Follow. Like amazing doom influenced record. Igor. Their newest one, Spirituality and Noise, one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, but it's like amazing. And Sunrot, their newest record, amazing doom metal band from somewhere, but great people.
We'll send all of it in the chat. All right. Well, I don't want this to cut us off, so thanks so much for doing this. It's been really fun.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. Good to finally meet you in person, kind of.
Yeah,
so.
kind of. Yeah.